Morning, everybody. Well, it's morning for me. Good day. Today is day 98, I do believe. It is. That was just my iPad falling over. Nothing serious. I did start this by doing some little tiny sort of stitches to hold this down instead of having to use pins. And I've chosen my colors. I used that white Clover gel pen. Let me show you the packaging. It's this one. It's a white marking pen. It is heat erasable, but I'll tell you, I don't like it. Mainly because it didn't show up, it didn't show up, it didn't show up, it didn't show up, it didn't show up. It took about an hour for it to show up. You can see the faint white lines there. I mean, it shows up okay on camera, but it took almost an hour for that to show up. It just shows up as a dark line first. And then I went over it with my blue friction pen. So yeah, I'm not, let me see if I can find it. I'm not 100% thrilled with this. I'm going to find a piece of dark fabric, and I'll show you what happens when I mark it, and then we'll check it in a little while. Okay, I'll just mark on this part here. That's it. See how it sinks into the fabric and it turns dark at first? It's right there. I don't even know if you can see the line. And then it'll slowly start turning white. So I'm going to set that over there. And we will let that sit there. Meanwhile, so I used this color 3347. It's a DMC for the background stitches. And I'm going to do the word bloom, I think, in this thread, although, yeah, I think that'll be fine. I love the colors in this thread. It's a Steph Francis Perle 8-41. And I have had these for a couple of years, and I use them very sparingly because I don't know if I'll be ordering more because, you know, it's expensive. Plus, I haven't looked her up lately. Don't even know if she's still selling threads. I have no idea. I haven't seen anybody mention Steph Francis in a while. But then I'm watching very few other people because I just haven't had time. You know, I've got a husband. Yeah. So I think I'm going to, let's see. Start here. End up back there. I start here. Okay. I have to figure out where I want to start. And I know both of these pens should disappear. Now, I don't know if I just wanted, I think I'm just going to do a back stitch or some variation of that. Oh, goodness, can't even grab this. I don't know how long this is going to take me. It might be a long one again. Yesterday's was a long one, but, you know, I'm just doing my thing. And if you're going to hang out with me, that's what I'm going to do. And I try and get it done as quickly as possible. I probably should have done the word. Excuse me one moment. I'm going to move the cord, which might jiggle the camera. But if I'm going to keep hitting the cord, it's going to jiggle the camera anyway. The cord to charge the phone. I tried. Oh, first, I hope this finds everybody well. And I hope that you have chosen something to sit and stitch while I'm doing mine. I was watching Christine this morning, And I watched Corinne this morning. Hello, ladies. Christine's was her mood board for the newest Roxy Stitchery project that's coming up. And I did not get to finish watching that video yet. And that blue really blends in, doesn't it? Anywho, okay. And she's going to do 3 projects with the next challenge or project or whatever they're calling it. I did ask to join the Facebook page so I can sort of decide if I want to do it or not. My conundrum is that besides the things I stated yesterday, that I tend not to always stick with these things when they're spread out over time. And that's my fault. It's not the fault of the way it's done or anything like that. I have a hard time, I've said this before, focusing on 2 projects at once, especially if I want to film, which is hard enough on its own, and fitting the husband time in and cooking time and all that stuff, going places time. So there's that. Then the other thing with me is I have this thing where it's hard to describe. Like, my focus for one project sort of steals my creativity for the next project. So I have to deal with that as well, because I would definitely have to do other projects in between if they're just giving prompts every 2 weeks. Then the third issue is I want to travel this fall. And I don't want to feel like I start it, and then if we're gone like 4 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever we're going to be gone, because we haven't planned it out yet, that's kind of like right in the middle of the whole thing. So I don't know. It's the way we travel, it's not easy for me to take a variety of things with me. I'm trying to see my line. The lighting is not great today. I'm sorry. I apologize. Not a lot of natural light coming in because it's a very overcast day. We've had some rain. We had a little rain overnight, nothing like what they were predicting. And we are having sort of spotty sprinkles. That would be a name for a fabric, wouldn't it? Spotty sprinkles. Off and on, but it's just overcast, just gray and overcast. And so there's that. And I have the curtains wide open. Do not have the door open. The birds are not singing. The squirrels are sort of romping around a bit, but not much. So I did get the information that my brother, there's a lot of blue in that. I want the yellow and the other colors to come through. I guess B is for blue. The blue part of the bloom. Did get the information for my brother together. My DNA readout from 23andMe. And my cousin had done a lot of research for the Irish side of the family. 93 point something percent Irish and Eastern European. So, hello, everybody in the world that I'm supposed to be living in, the part of the world that I'm supposed to be living in, but I don't, I guess. And my brother, who used to live in Maine and then moved to Florida and is now no longer with us, he had started doing some research through family members on our dad's side, and we were trying to find out what all that was, but he didn't get very far. And I know he has an Ancestry.com account, and I have the information for the account, but Ancestry.com is not cheap. However, I think more people tend to use that, than 23andMe, as I said yesterday. So that is the crookedest. Oh, straight lines. Swear to God. Can't cut them, can't sew them, can't draw them, can't draw anything. Can't even draw a stick figure the right way. Anywho's. Yeah, so he did some stuff. So I'm sending it all to my big brother. Yeah. And we'll see what he says. I don't think he's going to want to. That too is not straight. Lord. Come on. I don't think he's going to want to do the DNA testing. He might be willing to go onto Ancestry.com and try and figure some of the stuff out. I don't know if that's something he would do. Maybe one of his grandchildren would be willing to do it. All right, I need to come up there. Of course, I don't think I drew the line straight either, so I think that's probably why I'm having issues. So I was trying to follow the line, and then we've got lines going this way, and that throws my eyes off. So, yeah, there's that too. Alrighty. I went a tad offline, didn't I? Wow. I certainly did. Yes, Martha, you did. But we'll see. If he wanted to take over the research, that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that. I like to do research. However, there's the money side of it for that. And I understand there are some free ancestry research type. I'm gonna make this a little teeny bit longer to come over here towards the O. My L is definitely cockeyed. But then, you know. Excuse me, you have to consider the artist. I'm a little cockeyed myself. Anywho, yeah. I know there's some free websites to do ancestry research on as well, so. But I don't know. I'm not in touch with anyone from my dad's side of the family. He had 7 sisters and 2 brothers. And I'm sure they had children. But I don't know any of them. So it's a little bit of a search there. That would be a real treasure hunt, wouldn't it? Sorry, itchy nose. I love this thread because it changes color so quickly. And one of my goals this summer, which I've not even gotten down to yet, is to get some more. I have some already, but I want to get more white thread. This is going to be pointy if I do it right there, I think. Yeah. Some more white thread so that I can do color changing thread like this myself. So I can use some fabric dye and do that. Natural dyes would be nice, but natural dyes do not always hold well up over time. And you do have to be careful of that. And I like my bright colors, in case you hadn't noticed. I think I need to move you guys a little bit. There you go. That seems better, since I'm pulling this up so I can see it. So I have dark marks on dark fabric and dark threads. I don't know if this bloom is going to stand out the way I want it. I may go back and wrap it. I have not done much thread wrapping, so I don't know. It might be something I try. Oops. As usual, I'm trying to rush a little bit, and oh, that's not going to meet. And that makes me go wonky, so. So I have some decisions to make about the Roxy Challenge and whether I will actually be able to do it. I'm not very good at not knowing what the outcome is supposed to look like. Like, I don't need anyone to make a decision for me, but I don't know how to describe it. I'm more of a, like, give me an end result, and then I have to figure out the best way to have it happen. And we know it can be a canvas, or it can be a wall hanging, or it can be a, in a picture frame or whatever. But I don't know what the composition is supposed to look like. I don't know if that makes sense. And what kind of prompts are we going to get? Like, the last one was about a garden, like a bird and this and that. And this one is a treasure hunt. Are we going to have to make a treasure chest? And are we going to have to show, like, jewelry? Because they bring up, if you have any of your mothers or grandmothers. See, I got excited and got fast again. Mothers and grandmothers or aunts or whatever, old single earrings or brooches or... Oh, come on. So I'm thinking that might be one of the prompts, a treasure chest, and then put jewelry in the treasure chest, and then, yeah, so I don't know. I'm I know I'm a control freak, so that might be it. Maybe that's it, but I think for me, it really more or less comes down to I don't know how to put it. Like, I don't want to be wrong. I don't, and other people have visions of, like, Christine really has visions about what hers is going to look like, and I'm not capable of that. So I'm not sure that I would enjoy it because of that. I don't know. I think because it's supposed to be a whole, it's supposed to be a composition of a whole thing. When I was doing the 52 tags handmade, you only had one little tag you had to fill in at a time. So that one, I feel like I was more capable of accomplishing, even though I never finished it. So there you go. But yeah, that's kind of like, if I had a bunch of small components that in the end maybe I would have to put together, I'd probably be able to handle it more. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just full of baloney. I don't know. Oh, I might let it go and catch up after the first 2 weeks so I can sort of figure out what the concept is. Maybe that's what I need. I need to know what the concept is before I know if I can commit to it. And I know you're not supposed to do that, so that wouldn't be fair, I guess, to do it that way. And I wouldn't want to get called out about that, so yeah. Oops. Come on, Martha. Aim for the hole. There you go. Well, that didn't come out too bad. Most of my letters are about the same size, which to me is amazing. So there's all that stuff. And yes, I'm an overthinker. I know. I'm definitely the overthinker. But the travel part does bother me. I mean, we travel in a little camper van. I don't have, taking hearts with me and figuring out the fabric and the thread colors and everything for each one for 3 days was tricky when we went away, when I was doing this project. And so I know how I would not be able to, if I don't know what the prompt is, I wouldn't know what to take with me. And if we're gone for a month, then I'm going to miss out at least 2 of the prompts and have to play catch up when we get back. And I'm going to be wondering about it the whole time I'm gone. And when we go away, I want to be able to go away and not necessarily feel committed to something else, because I have a hard enough time doing this and trying to work on my next rice bag at the same time, which I've only done 1 panel so far. Well, I did 2, but I'm not sure I'm keeping the bottom panel. I may use that for another bag at some point. A denim one that I'm thinking about doing. That's really small. Now I'm getting too small. My stitches. Consistency is not, I'm not very consistent about consistency. Yeah, I have nothing to talk about. Oh, there we go. I will say that we're back to dark colors again. I will say that this lighter fabric that I'm using, that doesn't feel like a muslin. Well, I guess it could feel like a muslin, sort of, kind of, but it's heavier than muslin, the muslin I've purchased. But I don't know what this fabric is. But it's not as heavy and coarse as the outdoor fabric that I was using at first. And it's not as harsh on the threads. So, well, that's not half bad, right? I wonder what it would look like if I started wrapping it. Am I going to come up through the same hole? No. Yep, come on. Oh, that looks pretty. Let's see, I think I have to go around this way. I've seen people on Instagram doing this, and ow! It does really define those stitches better. Oops, come on. Let's get through the M before, ow! Ah, feels like something stinging my back. Sorry. I'm such a weirdo. Let go. I'll finish the M. I don't think I'll be able to get anything else done without having to tie off, so I'll just tie this one off and pick another thread. So pretty. It's so pretty. It's a pretty, pretty thread. Oop. Concentrating. Yay! Okay. Yeah, I've never done the stitch wrapping before, and I like it. I like it. I really like it. I think I'm gonna... Well, let's see what happens. My dilemma is that the thread color that's going to come up is going to be this, and then it's going to cover up the thread that I stitched with. But it sort of kind of does and sort of kind of doesn't, so it's okay. Yeah. I'm okay with that. And it sort of masks the That's a little tiny stitch. Sorry, concentrating. It masks the like stitch holes in between. So I like it because it does that on this back stitch. Well, look at that. All this time, and I've never done this before, and I really like it. Something new. Uh-oh. See, I cheated, and I tried to take a shortcut, and I twisted my threads. Come on. Come on. There. No more of that, Martha. Doesn't work. For heaven's sakes. I am the least smoothest, if that's a phrase, hand stitcher that I know. Everybody else makes it look like they're experts. Of course, some of you are, but it's okay. All right. I think I went over where I was supposed to go, so time to end that one. Fun stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to time-lapse you while I do the rest of this. Otherwise, this video will be 2 hours long. Nobody's going to stick with me that long. Trust me, I know you. All right, time-lapse coming up. Well, that was easy, and I'm very pleased with the results. It actually makes the letters stand out better. And it didn't cover up the original colors of the thread that were used on the letters to begin with, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I like that method. All these years, and it's the first time I've used it. Okay. Now, I just want to do some flowers. So that's why all of these colors are sitting out. Oh boy. I have something going on here. Okay. I think I'm going to use 6 strands because this is such a dark background. I didn't realize it at first, but now I'm realizing it, so it's a little late. But I think they're just going to be simple stitched flowers. I hope that time lapse isn't very long because I don't put music to my time lapses. So first I'm going to do something in here. I better do this way first. Wow. Bit of thick thread back there. Just simple little flowers to make this a happy piece. Just wanted a bright, happy piece to have for today because it's a dreary, kind of not happy looking day outside. And I like happy looking days. I'm envious of the people in our camper van group that are in sunny places right now. Because if I could have sunshine every day, I wouldn't care if it was chillier. I'm not going to say cold every day, but it's the sun. I just crave the sun. Just gotta have sun. All right, and then I'm going to make another yellow one. Oop. Not if I don't knot it, I'm not. Somewhere down here. And I'm just going to, maybe I'll just make, nope, not there because it's too close to the edge. Oh, Lord. Give me a break. So I have 2 more days to make it through, and I know what the day 100 is. But I have tomorrow to figure out. This just came to me this morning. I was trying to figure out ideas. I was going through my scraps, and because I love using the scraps, I'd cut a bunch of little tiny circles out. Oof. That's not good. Oh, come on. And they weren't working for me. I wanted to do something flowery, of course, since I've sort of overloaded the butterflies this week, or in the last week or so. And I wanted to do something. So I cut all these little circles out, and maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them. Laid them down. I'm like, nope, that's not it. So I went through my fabric again, and I saw the fabric that I made that one heart out of that had the stitching samples on it. And I thought it had a bloom where you are planted on it. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say one that says bloom. I wasn't going to do all the lettering, but I think most people know that saying. And I thought it would be kind of good. Because even at 67, I'm still finding myself. So mostly because that was not smart. Mostly because I lost myself a lot in the last 67 years. Yeah. But we won't get into that. That's no fun to talk about. Wow, this pink is a mess. Hoo-wee. I guess for saving every little strand of it, huh? Do you save your little strands like this? Like they're long enough to use? It's just sort of a hot mess. That one's not worth saving. I must have been in a frugal mood for that one. Or that one. I have a feeling that one's not going to be either. Yep. Okay, now we can move on. This is, how many strands? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, give that a go first. So when I turned the camera off the first time, I did not check to see how much time I had. I think it was maybe 35, 40 minutes. Wow, this is not threading. So this may be another long one. Because I know I did the time lapse and now I'm already up to 8, 9 minutes here, almost. I'm going to do, trying to find the center. Oh, well, that's going to have to do. Come on, thread. Fingers. Everybody cooperate. You need to cooperate to work together. It's kind of nice working on the Japanese rice bags because I think one of the things that got me excited about doing them is the space that I'm working in is not as restricted as the hearts have been. The hearts being, wide at the top, narrow at the bottom. It's been a challenge to do some of them because it's a restricted space. And it's just one of those things that you don't realize when you start a project like this. But when you restrict your space to something small, you have to be more imaginative and more creative about it and think a little harder. So it's kind of like doing a snippet roll when it's only 3 inches wide. There's not a whole lot of space to work with there. So you have to think miniature, but that doesn't work for something that's as wide at the top as this is. I don't think. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think it works as well. Okay. Sorry. I get wheezy in my throat. I can't even blame allergies. I haven't stepped outside today. Did I go outside yesterday? What was yesterday? Sunday? I don't even know if I stuck my head out the door yesterday, to be honest. So I'm going to do one of these. I don't know what these flowers are called. I don't even know if they're... Well, that wasn't what I wanted. What the heck? What was that, Martha? And I hate rethreading my thread, but rethreading my needle, but there you go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I even poked my head outside yesterday. Have not poked my head outside today, that's for sure. And I'm going to need new thread, of course. That's not the way I wanted to go. Hold on. What am I thinking of? Yes, I want to go this way. Coneflowers, maybe? Is that what these are called? When you just have a round thing at the top? I'm not going to have enough thread. Just call it, Martha. That way you're not struggling. Okay. Off you go. Helps if you cut the thread off of the spool, right? Get 3 more out of here. I cut my nails yesterday, and yeah. So things are a little more struggle today than they were yesterday. Let go, please. Yeehaw. And that, my friends, is why I have absolutely nothing to talk about. Because I haven't been anywhere or done anything or talked to anybody. Somebody needs to call me or something. I need to have stuff to talk about. We've been watching a show on a Netflix, maybe, called The Diplomat. I didn't think I'd like it, but it's sort of reminiscent of West Wing. And I used to like that show, even though I hate politics. It's about politics, but yeah. So, I mean, I sit there and do other things while the TV's on because I can't do just one thing at a time. I can't just sit and watch a show. There's one YouTube channel that we watch, and it's called Nikki Positano. And she is British and her husband is Italian, and they live on the side of a mountain on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. And he mostly speaks Italian on the videos, and she has to write the captions underneath in English. So I have to pay attention. Did I? Yeah, I did. I'm like, did I stitch that down? But if I hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to get back over here. Uh-oh, that one's really long. Yeah, and the captions are not real big that she writes. The translations in. And we watch on TV. And we have a pretty big TV. I mean, they make them a lot bigger nowadays than they did back then, but it is a flat screen. And it's not like it's a... I'm trying to figure out how many more I need to do here. And do one more and see how it looks. But we do sit pretty far across the room from it. So I have to sort of lean forward and read the small print of the captions. So I definitely have to pay attention with that one if I want to know what he's talking about. And he's a pretty humorous man, so and I love listening to the Italian because Tony's Italian but doesn't speak a lick of it. So he told me the other day that his mom told him that her mother, his grandmother, which he never knew because her parents passed away, his mom's parents passed away when she was 7, 8, 9, something along that line. She had an older brother who brought her up. So, her mother, what she remembers is her mother speaking to her in Italian, but she said she didn't always know what she was saying because nobody taught her, what she was saying. So that had to be tough. Yeah. And then Corinne is doing another beautiful Japanese rice bag. And she's using fabrics from France that she got on her recent trip. And she's like thread painting this flower. Man, it's going to take her a while. That flower is huge. That's an undertaking. Well, that's going wayward from where I wanted it to go, but that's okay. I think I'm going to kind of wrangle these guys and try and settle them down a little bit. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? Oh well, that's a little flakier than what I wanted, but it's the idea. They're not real. I don't do real. Oops. Okay, well, I think I am going to fill in a few more flowers, and then I'll be back to show you the finished product. I'll be back. This is going to be a little insert into the video near the end because I forgot to show you it took at least an hour for this color to show up from that white marking pen. And it's okay. Like, it's not, it shows up way better on camera than it does in real life, to be honest. And it's supposed to be a fine marking pen, but I think I went up and down a couple of times just to be able to see it. So that's how that Clover marking pen did. Yeah, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I would probably give it maybe a 6 out of 10. But there you go. Now, I have not tried to heat erase it yet, so that's a whole other story. But I just wanted to give an update on that mark on the dark fabric from the white marking pen. Well, there it is. All my little wonky flowers. I like it. And that took me about an hour extra after I turned off the camera. Yeah. I am just not a speed stitcher, which is why it's called slow stitching. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Thank everybody for being here very much. This is day 98. I've got 99 tomorrow and then day 100. So I am grateful for you all being here. I am grateful for you watching and commenting. And I'm grateful that you've stuck it out with me through 100 hearts, especially some of you, you know who you are, that have been faithful to me through this whole project. I appreciate it. I love you all. See? I do love you all. Bloom where you're planted. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And have yourself a beautiful day. And get crafty. Bye, everybody. Till the next one.